I never had a dog in my life. I didn't want the responsibility of having an animal. Now I have 8 elephants and 25 tigers. If you see an elephant in captivity with no mud and nothing on their skin, they're just not comfortable. They always have a hook.
They always have the bull hook.
And it's a weapon, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, if
I've
you tried to
seen
get
that.
on an airplane with one, you'd be in Guantanamo Bay. But you can hook an elephant with it and somehow it's okay. You know, all you have to do is look at Annie, look at her story. She was probably abused worse than any elephant that I've ever seen. Chained up, dragged down to the ground with block and tackle, beaten by keepers, trainers. When it was done, it was described as, by the director, who is still there at the zoo, as normal elephant training. Being jerked around, made to stand on its head. Obviously, it's not a natural situation for the elephant, and people bring their kids to that.
Paws was started by yourself and Pat Derby. It's been around for 28, 29 years. What do you think your biggest accomplishment has been?
I think our biggest accomplishment was building this place here, ARC 2000, being able to raise the bar for captivity. And when we started, we were small, we were struggling, we didn't have much support. We've educated the public, the normal, everyday citizen knows somehow that keeping an elephant on a chain is not the right thing to do. 30 years ago, nobody had a clue that it even happened.
Being in the United States of America and being a child that went to circuses and went to zoos, you sometimes didn't know,
Right.
most of the time didn't know, what kind of suffering and abuse was going on behind the cages and behind the circus acts. How did you both get to the point where you understood and knew what was happening and then decided to do something about it?
Pat was actually an actress, and then she started working with an animal company in Los Angeles, and she saw firsthand what happens to animals and how they're just cast off, and if they don't work, they don't have any value. People wouldn't watch a TV show, they wouldn't watch a movie if they knew how the animals lived.
You guys really pioneered a method of no bull hook handling of elephants that's been adopted all over the place.
We said a long time ago in the early, mid-'80s, we don't know what we're going to do. You know, we don't know how we're going to do it, but we're never going to have a bull hook for the elephants, and we never have.
If you're not using a bull hook, how does one handle, maintain, treat an elephant?
You do it with, you call it targets. It's like a bamboo stick with a ball on the end. You hold it up and they know that if they touch their head to it eventually, the closer they get to it, you blow a whistle, you give them a treat, they know within 5 minutes, and everybody's happy.
You now house all these different animals and you're giving them sort of a dignity that they've never had. Where do you see the next 20, 30 years with Paws?
As long as we get have a platform from which to speak, you know, that's all we need. We have a bill right now in Washington that would pretty much outlaw the use of traveling wild animals in circus shows.
Do you ever step back sometimes and take a look at what you've created and think, wow, we've done a good thing?
I think we've made a huge difference in the last 30 years, and I think the next 5 or 10 years we're going to quadruple what we've done in the first 30. Just don't give up on what you think, and don't compromise, and remain solid in your belief that what you're doing is the right thing. The ultimate goal for us is to put ourselves out of business. You know, we want to get it to the point where people don't have a leopard or a tiger in their backyard. They don't buy a bear at a flea market. Elephants aren't, you know, just used in circuses and novelty acts. Human beings have a lot of energy that we don't use, and if you use all of your energy for something good, you can make a huge difference.